Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unlock Tuesday live stream. My name is Jessie Lang. If you guys do not know who I am or what I do, I actually own a large rental portfolio in Columbus, Ohio, and I help other investors get into the game or scale up their portfolio. You guys will maybe notice Bandit here in the background is crashed out. He's my little desk cat. And then you may also notice my guest for the day is Miss Lizzie Ross, our student success manager. If you want to do a quick
I don't know that I can be considered a guest anymore.
That's true. My sidekick. We'll go with sidekick. Today we are talking about a case study of the most recent flip that we finished. We're closing this Thursday. We already have numbers back, so we know how everything's going to pan out. And you may be thinking, Jessie, why the heck are we talking about a flip when, let's see, you have the loudest keyboard.
Sorry.
And you may be thinking, why are we talking about a flip when this program is all about rentals? And the reason is not every deal is going to work as a rental. And what are you going to do? Just throw that deal away and say, hey, this isn't going to work for me? No, of course not. You are going to capitalize in every single way that you can to earn some income from that lead coming in. And so that's exactly what we did here. Spoiler, it was a great project.
So good.
We're looking at about $67,000 in profit on a single flip in Columbus, Ohio. I will show you the property. I will show you the befores and afters. I will show you the rehab scope. We did not reinvent the wheel. We did flooring, carpet, paint, some mechanicals, and that's about it. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. So y'all let me know in the comments who you are, where you're watching from. I see quite a few folks on. Just let me know. These are super interactive. I want to answer your questions. I want to have a conversation with the audience. That is truly the purpose of me coming on here every single Tuesday. So let me know. Let me know where you're watching from. All right. So let me start sharing. We will go ahead and start on the before pictures. Before we hop in, I am going to tell you this deal came to me as a referral. It came from a referral from someone that I used to work with over 5 years ago. We worked together at the W-2 job that brought me to Columbus. I was there maybe 18 months before I became a full-time real estate investor. And we stayed in touch, not on a personal level. I actually had not heard from this gentleman in probably the 5 years since I left the company, but we stayed together on social media, right? He saw what I was doing. He saw my posts. He saw that I actually do buy real estate. And I'm only telling you this because if you're out there looking at deals, even if you don't have a deal quite yet, this is something you can be putting online. You can be putting it online because people will know what you are doing and they will send deals your way. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So let's take a look at this guy. I'll share my screen. Okay, can you guys see this? So this property is in 43224. I'm not going to share the exact address, but just know it's in north central Ohio. It's inside kind of our outer belt, so pretty central. It's actually really close to Lizzie's house. Lizzie,
it's within walking distance.
Yeah, within walking distance. So how would you kind of describe this little area?
It's very cookie. Sorry, my mail is here. My dog is barking. Very central, very cookie cutter.
Yeah, all the houses look similar. So that's something that we always look for. So, yes, Troy, I'll send me a message. Troy wants to know a DSCR lender that we posted about earlier. Yeah, go ahead.
Send it to him.
Yeah, send me a message. Okay, so you'll notice we have a nice little, it's kind of a cute little grandma house. I mean, that's exactly who was living here. It had some broken windows, some, kind of older AC. They left everything behind. That is a benefit of working with us as your buyer, is you can literally leave. We say, take what you want and leave the rest. And so you just see that there's some stuff here, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't a hoarder house. Hey, Steven. Hello,
you get
honey.
any treasures from this house? That's the real question.
Yeah, we got lots of treasures. I got a bicycle, like a full, nice new bicycle. We got some pretty cool planters that I have in my backyard. So I'm always getting treasures. I did not get these tires. So you can see, like, it's cosmetic, right? This needs a cosmetic renovation. The rooms are appropriate layout. There's nothing super special about the bedrooms. They're very standard. There's nothing funky about this. And that's what we look for. Okay, this was funky, but we knew we were going to tear it out. So it's not like something funky we had to like overcome, like a weird layout or anything like that. So yeah. This is a fun little base or a fun.
Did you keep the swans?
No, the swans had to go. The swans had to go. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's kind of cool, but for what we were doing, the whole bathroom.
I actually really like the sink.
Yeah. They're actually hard to keep clean. The style's super hard to keep clean.
It's cute though.
So this is the kitchen. It had a little bit of a funky layout, which we did not overcome. We didn't go above and beyond to fix it. And you'll see the kitchen. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. This window was kind of throwing us off. So the fridge is kind of in an interesting place, but it still worked out. So living room, it's dark, but it's nice, honestly.
Wait, did you tell them what you did with the fridge here?
Oh yeah.
It's a nice fridge.
Okay, this is going to be crazy. So this fridge here in this picture is currently at my personal home because it was a really nice brand new fridge. It just needed to be cleaned. Okay. So this fridge is at my house and my old fridge is sold with the flip. I like this one better. It has the beverage drawer. So there's so many. I know Lizzie gets a kick out of.
Those are the treasures that you get.
Yeah. Just some treasures, So you get an idea. There was a lot of insulation in the attic. You get a good idea of kind of what this property looked like before. Basement here are the comparables that we were looking at actually had a finished basement. So I knew when we were writing the scope that we were going to finish this basement. So let's look at what it looks like today. Now, unfortunately, these pictures are not in order because they downloaded kind of weird. So you're just kind of to bear with me. This is the basement. We painted the ceiling. We drywalled the walls. We installed LVT flooring. There's a huge room here. Again, these are going to be out of order. There's the kitchen. Granite. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Not granite countertops.
Laminate?
No, it's not laminate either. Quartz. Thank you. Okay. Quartz countertops. New cabinets. Originally, I underwrote this as a rental, and I was going to keep and paint the cabinets because they were in decent condition. They just needed a coat of paint inside and out. But we ended up, I looked at the numbers again. We decided to flip it. So we did replace the whole kitchen. We got some new appliances other than the fridge, which was used, but it's nice. And then you can see, I wish I could zoom in. Let's see if this works. Okay, so you can see that we did, this is actually the bathroom downstairs. So there was a whole bathroom in the basement. We have a full bath down there. You can see that the fridge is still not in the best location, but it works. We always think of the triangle between the sink, which is here, fridge, and stove. And the idea is that they're in a triangle, not a straight line. And so it still works. We did this little coffee bar, kind of beverage bar over here. And it's again because this window was throwing us off. So we just kind of staged that as a seating arrangement, and it worked just fine. So this is the upstairs bathroom. That was the funky one with all the orange swans. But yeah, this is what it looks like today. So backyard, we just gave it a good cleanup. And that really is it. You'll see the bedrooms, you know, we didn't change the size, anything like that. Just new flooring, new paint. And outside, we didn't even paint the outside. We just cleaned up some of the stone and the brick. If you kind of look, let's look at, oh gosh, now it's huge. So this picture, this was all beat up. We just cleaned this up. We just cleaned it up, truly. I think people get so caught up in doing too much that you really don't have to do, and you end up overspending. So that's the project. You guys, I want to hear in the comments, how much do you think that this renovation costs? I'm going to give it a few seconds before I let you know. How much do you think that this renovation cost?
I won't guess.
Anyone?
Could you give him a hint and just tell him how long the project was?
I can give you a hint. It took, I will show you, took around 2 months to complete. 5K. Troy, get out of here.
Get out of here, Troy.
I think you missed a letter. We just redid a whole house. Okay, well, it's quiet out there, y'all.
He said you saved some money on the appliances.
Yeah. So this project, we spent $65,000. That included, it's actually 63. That includes staging. Okay, we got some guesses. So this is a 65K project. We redid 2 entire bathrooms. We finished out the basement. We did a new electrical panel. Let me pull up. I have this open for you. Oops. Let me pull this up. So we have our scope here. It was $60,000, but then I paid for staging, I had some appliance costs. So let's look. What did we do? We had some change orders. We moved some things around in the kitchen after we decided to keep it, added some floating shelves. We ended up having to redo the electrical panel. So that was a good size change order. Let's go. We'll go through. So if you guys are doing renovations with GCs and your scope does not look like this, then you need to find a new GC, or you need to train them on how to write scopes like this, because this is how you avoid any questions on what exactly was going to happen. It's broken down by exterior, each room, kitchen, 4,500 for the cabinets. It's called says granite, but it's not granite. Quartz. We installed, broken down by room, 60,000. And like I said, we had about 3,000 between staging, some appliance costs, and some other stuff. So that's our scope. Then let's look at our calculator. So this calculator that we have designed is specifically for BRRRR properties, but like I said, not every deal is going to be a good BRRRR. But that does not mean that you should throw that deal away. You should absolutely still do the project if it's within your buy box and your skill set. So we will kind of just go through some high level stuff. We bought this for $118,000. When I initially spoke to the seller, he wanted $140,000. And we did get that down just based on, our numbers. And like I said, I originally was looking at this as a rental. So that's kind of how we ended up there. We bought it for $118,000. I estimated $60K reno, which would have put our maximum allowable offer at $146,000. But I knew that there was some wiggle room there on the negotiation. So we got it for $118,000. I used private money on this one. So they covered 100% of the purchase, 100% of the rehab, and there was no loan to value limitation. That means that I could borrow the entire project, and that's exactly what we did. So we borrowed $118,000 at close, and then we borrowed $42,000 towards the reno. Now you're like, Jesse, well, your reno was was $65,000. Why'd you only borrow $42,000? And it's because some of those change orders hit us, right? And then also, I just knew that I had the cash to pay up the difference and have some of my own money, but I wouldn't have had to. I could have borrowed 65 and the deal still would have worked. So we ended up borrowing about $160K towards this project. It was 12%. I paid monthly payments. We had some title closing costs on the front, no loan closing costs that you would have with a hard money lender, and no origination fee. So we saved about $3,500 by going with private money. Hard money is still fantastic. Swear by it. If my private money lender didn't have the funds for this one, we would have used hard money. So it still definitely works. Let me zoom in. All right. We have a lot of folks on. So you guys ask your questions as we go through. It's worth $275. This was my initial calculation if we were to keep this as a rental property. And you'll see down below that it actually did not cash flow, which is how I decided to turn it into a flip. So let me just skip down to the cash flow so we can, this would be at $1,700, which was market rent in that area. We're still at negative $47 a month. So that just wasn't, it just wasn't going to work.
Right.
So I still underwrote it here, figured out it wasn't going to work. So we just keep going down. Over here, we have our repair cost, $63,007. We had some utilities, insurance, property taxes every month that we held the project. And then let's look at our flip over here. So we sold it for $275. I'm sorry. Oh, I am so sorry. We listed it for $275. We sold it for $272. So there we go. We bring that down $5,000. Or I'm sorry, $2,000. Yeah. So bought it for $118. We had 63 in repairs, 5% commissions. When you are working with a agent that you work with all the time and you're an investor, a lot of them will give you a discount on their side of the rent. So I pay 2% to my agent. And then of course we pay 3% to the buyer's agent. I had some finance costs. I call this the money store. So I went to the money store and I borrowed $160,000 for about 4 months, and it cost me $6,500. Would you spend $6,500 to borrow $160,000?
No brainer.
No brainer.
And exactly. You paid $6,500 to make $6K or $65,000.
Yeah, exactly right. So this was my finance cost, even at 12%. And I get so many people saying, well, I'm not going to pay 12%. Who cares? Who cares? Like, that is the amount that my lender is happy with. It's an amount that I'm happy with. It is a win-win situation. Yeah. And my lender on this deal actually just came to our book signing this last Friday. And he sat and we just caught up for a good 30, 45 minutes. And he was just saying, Lizzie was there. He was just saying how much of a blessing this relationship has been to him. It is not only for me as the borrower. It is a blessing for him as well. Last month, I paid him $4,200 across all of our projects. This is supporting his life. It's supporting his entire life, you know? So it's a win-win. It is
passive as it comes.
Yeah. Passive as it comes. He got $4,200 a month to send a couple of wires every few months, you know? So it's a real win-win. Closing costs on the backside, $3,600, and then I had some holding costs. This is outside of finance. This is, you know, your mortgage. I'm sorry, your
utilities.
Thank you.
Property
Utilities, taxes, insurance, all of pretty much these. So we had these for a couple months. So with all of that, I was all in for basically $207,000. And we sold it for, and that's including commissions, closing costs, everything. So that's a profit here of $65,000 on a project that a lot of people may have walked away from because it didn't look like the perfect burr.
Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal. So you guys, let me know in the comments, is this a deal that you would have done? I'm going to guess there's some yeses.
Personally, yes.
Yes.
One thing I'm going to ask you, because I asked you this yesterday when you sent me the HUD statement, is what are you going to do with it, Jessie? Because I thought your answer was really beautiful, and I think you should say it out loud.
Lizzie said, well, what are you going to do with the money? And I like kind of had a panic because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with the money? Because for so long, I have had my head in the sand in a good way about buying real estate. My answer would have been, this is always my answer, I'm going to go get a nice steak dinner and I'm going to put the rest towards real estate. And then Lizzie, she asked me yesterday and like messed with my mind because I don't have to put it all towards real estate. And I'm going to go do something fun. I think we're looking at a safari this next year. So maybe the down payment on a safari. And so I'm actually going to enjoy some of it this time. That's good.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. So Steven, great question. He's asking, I'm surprised at the sale price with the curb appeal being rather impressive. I'm not offended by that. I truly am not. And it's because I looked at the comparable sales that also sold for $275 and they were also rather unimpressive. So what does that tell me?
It tells you that I live in an unimpressive neighborhood.
No, it tells you that that's not required to hit that price. To hit $275, it's not required. I didn't see anything. It wasn't like if my curb appeal was better, I could have got $300. There was nothing that supported that. So I don't make up my own like desires.
Yeah, it would have been, you would not have made any more money.
I wouldn't have seen the money back. I wouldn't have seen it back. So I don't make up what I want. I make up what the market tells me. I do what the market tells me. And the market on this one said, you do not have to do, we did some like light landscaping. We cleaned up a bunch of stuff. Like it was cleaned up and we did some like, trim paint. We did take a big tree out. That was somewhat expensive. Let me show you.
The backyard was crazy.
The backyard was really bad. Yeah. I'm like crazy zoomed in.
You are not sharing.
Yeah. So let me show you this first tree. I somehow don't have a picture of the front of the house, which is crazy because I definitely do. But this tree, you can kind of see from the side. We took this out. We trimmed all these bushes up. We put some landscaping here. So was it above and beyond $1 million? No, of course not. But it didn't need to be. And that's what I want you to take away from it. I just did exactly what the comps told me.
You don't need to do too much.
Everyone gets in this HGTV trap. You are not flipping in Beverly Hills. You just gotta these are the bread and butter, and the numbers did work really well on this. But even if I had bought this for $140, it still would have been a great deal. And that's the bread and butter. Those are the projects that you can do over and over and over and over. They're the first, the second base hits. That's how you build a business. This is a home run, okay? You don't build a business on home runs. Right. You'll never end up buying anything. So that's my takeaway for you on that one.
Love it.
Yeah. Very cool, y'all. Well, if this is something that you would like to learn, and I know it is, because who doesn't want to make $67,000 with my own time? I did go to the project a couple times. Lizzie and I went out there to film one day. So I checked on stuff. I have realistically less than 12 hours of my time into this deal between negotiation, closings. Each closing was half an hour, maybe. I have 12, maybe 15 hours of my time. Who does not want to make $67,000 for 12 hours of your time? So I know you want to. If you would allow us to send you some more information about exactly how we help people do this, Lizzie has our student success number up on the screen. It is 614-368-7391. And then we'll send you some more information. just about how we do it. We have some bunch of free trainings, all this stuff. Yeah. Alicia says, I'm dead on focus. Let's chat. Yes, girl.
Text that number.
Yeah. Text that number. Let's chat. And we would love to show you how we have an awesome community of other investors doing deals just like this. So appreciate all of your time. And we will. Oh, Steven says, good. You just caught me. Steven says, highly recommend getting on board. He's been an awesome asset. Was just out at our in-person weekend that we just had. So, yeah, definitely. Y'all hop on in and we will see you next Tuesday.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah.
And congrats.